Hello, today I'm sharing my project for the March Fancy Fold Card Challenge collaboration. It is hosted by the very lovely Monika aka Paper Mona, and we have a little group of ladies who are all sharing our makes. 8 of us. You'll find everybody linked in the description box below. So if you would like to see how I made this little interlocking fancy fold card, goes like this, then please keep watching. My name's Jenny and this is Ginger Ninja Crafts. Okay, so the first step is to make the base of our card. So I have cut a piece of card which measures 5.5 inches by 10.75 inches, and I'm going to get my scoreboard. So I'm going to score at 1 5/8. So that's 1.5 the next one. And 3.25. And then I'm going to turn it round and do the same again. So 1 5/8 and 3.25. I had never seen this card design before, but it is a really fun design. So I'm going to do some folding. So this is going to be the inside back of the card. So I'm going to fold that side in and then fold this end piece back on itself. And then same again. So this side in, making sure it lines up nicely. And then this piece back on itself. So it's sort of like a gatefold card, but there's a gap in the middle. I should put a bit of... No, that doesn't help. It's not big enough. Let me get a piece of card to stick underneath. How's that? How is that? Right, so this is the front, and then we need to put our panels on. So we've got our interlocking panels for the front, and we've got a panel inside. So I have cut all this beforehand, so you didn't have to watch me do that. So for the inside, I have done a mat and a layer. Somehow I've got a wee mark on it. So the inside mat, for me, I have cut it 5.25 inches by 4 inches. And then on top of that, I've got a mat to go that's 3.75 times 5. So that's good to go in like that. But I might do a little bit of stamping on this before I put it in. So, yeah, let me do that first. So I'm going with a birthday theme, and I've got this. I'm not doing the dogs, but I like the balloons in this stamp set. And this is a bit... Let me go and clean my stamp and my stamping block. Okay, so I've got a couple of inks here. I don't want anything too in your face, but just a little bit of something. Let me just see what that's... Yeah, I'll do first generation of this. And ooh, that's bad, isn't it? That's bad. Okay, so that's bad. Here we go. Let me. Easy to make mistakes, isn't it? So there we go. One up there. One down here. Here. And then this is, what's this one called? Bally Blue. Oh, that's nice too. Okay, so let me just do a little. And that's quite a nice second generation with that one. Maybe a little one there. I do like these inks, they're very nice. Okay. So just a bit of a random stamping to go on the inside. And I just cut this. I had it something else I was doing. And I just thought, I think I was just trying out the stamp before I used it, but I thought I'll just keep that and I can use it. So I might just stick that on a wee mat. And maybe it'll go on the inside, or maybe it won't. I can't wait to see what everybody else does with these. I'm sure people will do some fabulous cards. I have to say, I have been procrastinating a bit with this one, so this is going up at the last minute. Busy old week. A busy old week. So, stick that on there, and then that's quite nice. And nobody sees the mistake on the back. Oops. Yep, so there we go. So I'm going to tell you about these other panels. I think that's the scraps. So what we're going to have is two panels on the front. One is going to sit up here, and this one is going to sit down here. So they are kind of interlocking, and then when you open it, they will open up like that. So we want to kind of hide that inner panel at first with these. So you've got, for the top panel, the mat behind it measures 2 7/8 of an inch by 3 7/8 of an inch. And then the white panel, or whatever colour you choose to put on there, is 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. And then this one for the bottom measures 2 3/8 by 3 3/8, and this white panel on the top is 2 1/4 times 3 1/4. And I want to do a little bit of inking before I put them on. So let me just get my inks together. Okay, so what I've got is this cloud stencil. I've had it for years. I got it, I think, when I was on a design team. It's from Trinity Stamps and it is great. So I'm going to just take the white layers. So the top one I'm going to have all cloud. And I'm just going with a kind of subtle look with the ink that's already on my brush. Nothing too in your face. Oops. But just something like that. And then I might just give it a slight border. Yeah, so that is going to be the top panel. So glue that onto the mat. And then this one I'm just going to have a little bit at the top. But the bottom I want it to be a bit sort of grassy like. So I'm just going just giving it a little bit of that. Because I'm going to have a wee character down here, so I want to give them something to stand on. And again, I'm going to stick that onto the smaller mat. Okay, so there we go. Now I'm just going to put you on pause and clear up a little. Okay, so I'm going to put this together and then I'm going to decorate these panels. So what we're going to do is stick this one up here. Now we want it to be at least in line with this panel inside. I don't want that peeking out the top, you know what I mean? So something like that. And then this one is going to stick down here in line with that one. So I'm going to just put a bit of glue on this side because I only want it to be glued on here. I don't want any glue over that aperture. Check I've got it the right way. Okay. So now something like that. Be a slightly further over. Stick that down there. Now this one I'm going to raise up this panel a little bit. So you could use 3D foam or whatever. I'm going to use some of this. Not that, it's a bit thin. If I got a bit of thick card, I could. Got this. So I'm going to cut myself so I'm going to glue. I'm going to see what 2 is like. I'll maybe do another one. I think I'm going to do 3 of these strips. On top of each other. And another one. This one's a wee bit too fat, I think. Just like myself, a little too fat. There we go. So I'm going to take that and layer it up. So the first bit is going to go it's going to kind of butt up next to this top panel. So I'm going to glue this one onto the base card. I don't want it going lower than that line there because that's where my panel's going to sit. And then I'm going to stick this one on this right hand edge. So that's going to go onto there. So a little bit of glue there, a little bit of glue there, and let me just, so I'm just covering up that line inside. I'm going slightly over that edge there, and I want to let that glue stick a little bit. So that is the sort of mechanism, if you like, of the card. Now, I have already done a bit of preparation for my theme. So I'm going with these puffins because after Christmas I treated myself to a few goodies, things that I had spotted were new and I thought I really liked them. And this Marianne design puffin die set, I had to buy it because I love puffins. So the plan that I've got in my head is that I'm going to have a wee puffin stood here on the grass, and the puffin is holding a bunch of balloons. These balloons came with the puffin die set, and I could give the puffin a wee party hat if I wanted to. So that is my plan. So I could just draw the string kind of bit to meet up with each other. So yes, I have to say, I've had a lot of these Marianne animal dies, and I think this one was the one that, maybe it's just my age, but my brain was struggling to figure how to put it all together. But I think that is probably me and not the fault of any puffins or designers. But yeah, so I'm going to stick that wee puffin down there. And I've got, I think 3 balloons is better than 4. Not really. Maybe that. Because I'm not such a big fan of that, how I've coloured that yellow one. yeah, if you want to see how I put these together, then just let me know in the comments, and I can do a little video of me making some more puffins. So it's going to go like that, and then boo. So I need to figure out, do I want this birthday thing on the front or inside? I do have other birthday options in here. There's quite a nice, I like this happy birthday. Or here's to extra special birthday. Wonder if I could do a little bannery thing with that happy birthday and maybe a wee cupcake or something. Okay. Let me think about that. Right, I'm going to do some string for these balloons. And a golden pen. That's the black one. I'd quite like. I've got one that's like a paler colour, I think. Ooh, here it is. Yeah. So let me. See, I need to be quiet while I'm concentrating. Okay. Now, here's this bit of spare. Put that balloon back on. Happy birthday. That one, let's do this one. Okay. Let that dry. Now, should my little puffin have a wee hat on? I do have, I've got this little green one. That's quite cute, isn't it? Go. Goodness. So cute. Now, what about a wee cupcake in that? Little cupcake there, or a wee balloon on its. Maybe a little balloon flying off. Okay. I'm going to do this one. This is high risk, isn't it, when the card is so nearly finished. But that will do. It's like it's flown off, that one. And then we're done with the stamps. A little cake in that bottom. Why not? Why not? About a little. Okay, so that's the cupcake case, and then what colour of icing should we have? Just going with the inks I've got lying about my desk. Would that go with that kind of corally colour? I think it could. Pretty cool. Fills in that wee gap. So there it is. And then, whoops, haha. And I think I should do that inside. Just because. So here you go. Have you ever tried one of these interlocking fancy fold cards? And if you have or you haven't, are you going to have a go? Would love to see everybody's. I can't wait to see what everybody else has made for this, because it's always so different. And some people are much more adventurous with me in terms of doing their own measurements, etc. Wondering if I should. I think I should. Yeah, so it makes sense like that, and then also because it'll stand up like so. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you will check out the description box where you'll find the Facebook group linked and all the other ladies who are participating in this fun fancy fold card challenge. So thanks so much for watching. Take care. I'll be back very soon with another video. Bye now.